A very good morning, students. Today we are going to have our another session of Financial Management 1. Now, in the previous session, we have dealt with the introduction and definition part of financial management. In today's session, we are going to study the scope and objectives of financial management. The scope, or we can say that the elements of financial management. The elements of financial management is divided into three different scope. The first one, that is investment decision, the second one, that is financial decision, and the third one, that is dividend decision. Now the first point, that is investment decision. In investment decision, the organization is going to decide that in which source they are going to make their investment. Means here it is a decision making part of financial department that the raised fund is to be invested in which source. So here decision word we are going to select because we have numbers of options available with us at the time of investment. It is not like that only a single option is there and we are going to select them or we are going to compulsory choose them, but it is about the decision part, the selection criteria part, the analytical criteria part, apart from the financial department's routine activity. So in first element, organization is going to have its investment decision that include investment in fixed assets, investment in current assets are also a part of investment decision called as working capital decision. The basically organization is going to invest in particular assets or in particular securities. Now that security that will be external or internal, that capital will be internal or external, but as far as the organization is concerned, it must first and foremostly include it internal part, that when they are going to invest in fixed assets, when they are going to invest their current assets, plus the amount include in that investment, or we can say that the proportion through which the organization is going to continue with their investment. Now in financial department, this investment decision is very crucial one because we have numbers of options available with us, and out of these options here we are going to select the best one, the best option of investment which gives us the maximum return, the maximum return plus the minimum cost of capital. Means when you are going to have your investment, you are going to bear some kind of cost and you are able to have the numbers of return out of your investment. So in this decision, organization is going to select that option in which the cost of capital, or we can say that the cost of investment will be minimum and the return will be maximum. Now second one, okay, now make sure here wrongly I put 1 as a financial decision, but you are supposed to write down number 2 as a financial decisions. Financial decisions is related with how organization is going to raise their finance. Now organization is going to have their fund from two different sources. The first source, that is internal source, second source, that is external source. Now at the time of raising the finance, organization is going to select that option through which organization is able to generate the maximum fund with minimum cost and maximum utilization. Here again we are going to have the word as a decision, because here organization is going to decide that which source is to be selected, that is internal source or external source. Now this decision is totally depends upon the requirement of organization's fund. Means if the requirement is for the short period of time, then organization is going to select the internal source. But if the requirement is for the long period of time and the amount involved in it is very huge, then they are going to select the external fund. They relate to the raising of finance from various resources, which will depend upon decision on type of source, period of financing, cost of financing and return thereby. Here again organization is going to show that how much it is time consuming, that is to raise the finance from the external source. If it is very time consuming, then they are going to drop that particular option and switch over to another option. But if the time period is moderate or short, then they will continue with a particular option for the raising of finance. Now the third one, that is dividend decision. Here organization is going to decide that how much dividend is to be declared to their shareholders. Basically organization is here for the profit purpose, and when they have the maximum profit, then it is a duty of organization that is to distribute that profit amongst their shareholders, because basically shareholders provide maximum funds to the organization, and out of that fund they are able to run their business and they are able to generate the maximum profit. So it is a right of our shareholders to get proper dividend. Now here in dividend decision, organization is going to select a proper ratio between retained earning and dividend distribution. Basically the net profit, out of the net profit organization is going to have some amount as in retained earning. Retained earning means when you are going to use your organization profit for the organization purpose only, so that profit that process will be known as retained earning, or we can say that plowing back of profit. And the remaining proportion of the profit, that is to be distributed among the shareholders. So here if the organization required the maximum profit for the internal usages, then they are going to declare the minimum dividend. But if your sources are very strong and internal sources does not require any additional profit from the organization, so at this point of time organization is going to declare maximum dividend. Now this proportion of declaring dividend is different from organization to organization. If the organization is new, then they are not able to distribute maximum dividend among their shareholders because they are always in a need of money. But if we are dealing with the already existing business or the business which is there in the market for minimum 10 to 15 years. So at that point of time, they does not depend upon the internal source of the financing. So they are not using their profit as retained earning, but they want their shareholders satisfaction, and that satisfaction is done with the declaration of maximum dividend. The finance manager has to take decision with regards to the net profit distribution. Net profit are generally divided into two parts. A. Dividend for shareholders, that is dividend and the rate of it has to be decided. Retained earning or retained profit, amount of retained profit has to be finalized, which will depend upon expansion and diversification plans of the enterprise. So the proportion of retained earning is totally depends upon the organization's need or the working condition of the company. If the requirement is high, then the proportion of retained earning will definitely high. But if the organization is already established and already working from the numbers of years, then the proportion of retained earning will be minimum. I hope this is clear in your mind. Means scope or elements of financial management, that is divided into three parts. The first one, that is investment decision, the second one, that is financial decision, and the third one, that is dividend decision. Now first, in investment decision, organization is going to select that option in which the organization is going to make their own investment. The second one, that is financial decision. Now in financial decision, organization is going to select that particular source of finance through which they are going to raise their capital. And the last one, that is dividend decision. In dividend decision, organization is going to select the proportion between retained earning and dividend distribution. So in routine course of action, organization is having numbers of decision that is to make. So in again financial decision or in financial management, they are going to have or they are dealing with numbers of options. So when the options are available to us, so out of that options, we are going to select the best one which is suitable for the organization or which is suitable for the market plus our customers. So this is all about the scope or elements of financial management. Now the next point. Objectives of financial management. As we know that organization's main objective, that is the profit maximization, and again the objective of financial management is also maximization of the profit, but that is the basic objective. Here we are going to deal with two different objectives of the financial management. Objectives of any financial activity is of return. We are doing business with the expectation of a proper return. So if the return is there, if the return is to be enhanced, then we are able to perform in a proper manner. Then the business is running smoothly and they are not going to face any hurdles. The unit hold the objectives of maximum economic welfare of the owner with the help of financial sources and adopt following two standards for the maximization of economic welfare. Organization is here for the economic welfare. Economic welfare means the organization needs to be financially strong. Means any kind of financial scarcity must not be there in a business at the time of running it. But how we are able to get this economic welfare? So, there are 2 points through which organization is able to maximize their economic welfare. Here organization does not do the own economic maximization, but apart from the organization's welfare, they are in a concern with employees' economic welfare. If the organization grow, definitely your employees will get benefits. If the organization earns huge profit, then as a result, our employees also get increase in their salaries. So here we need to consider the both economic welfare of employees plus the organization. Under that, the first one, that is profit maximization. Now this is the basic goal of any organization, that is to maximize their profit. And how the profit is to be maximized? The simple answer: by producing maximum product, by selling maximum product, we are able to maximize our profit. But here we are going to have the scientific analysis of the profit maximization concept. Now, apart from increasing production or increase in the sale, but we are able to get maximum profit by reducing our cost of capital. The business person is not able to increase the price of the product due to heavy competition, because if you are going to increase the price of product, then definitely your competitors will imitate. But if suppose your competitor does not copy you, then what will be the result? Then your customers will not prefer your product with the higher price, but they are going to prefer the product of your competitors with the lower price. So maximization of the price is not a result of maximum profit. We are able to have the profit margin, and that profit margin, that is a difference between cost and price. We are not able to increase the price of the product due to heavy competition, but as an organization, we are able to control our production cost. Once the production cost is controlled, then we are able to maximize our profit margin. And by having the maximum profit margin, we are able to get the maximum profit. As we all know that profit, that is the lifeblood of any organization. So profit maximization, that is a prime objective of any company or any enterprise, and out of that objectives they are able to survive in a normal conditions. So this is all about profit maximization. Now the second objective, that is wealth maximization. Here we are going to increase the wealth of our shareholders. Wealth. Sometimes we are using the word that particular person is very wealthy. Now, how wealth is related with the financial decision. Now, in elements, we learn that is dividend distributions. Wealth is to be created by maximum declaration of dividend to our shareholders. Now make my words, when organization is going to declare dividend to their shareholders, then basically your shareholders are satisfied with the company. And if it is a routine activity, it is a regular activity that each and every year we are going to distribute dividend to our shareholders. So, on the basis of our dividend declaration decision, our shareholders are highly satisfied with our company and they will continue with the organization. Continue means they are not going to sell the shares of our company in the market because they are getting dividend each and every year. So they will become our regular investors. Now, in the market, demand of our company's shares will increase. Now, how it is increased? Because now potential customers want to purchase our company's shares. Potential customers or potential investors are those investors who wishes to purchase a particular investment. So now our potential investors want to purchase the company's shares and the demand of share is totally limited and the supply is maximum. So when the demand is high, the supply is low, automatically the price rise. So here our shares price will increase by declaring a proper dividend to our shareholders. So when the prices of share will increase, so at that time our shareholders get additional benefits and that additional benefit of price rise will increase the wealth of their total income. Now, the goodwill of your organization will generate in a proper manner because as an organization we are declaring regular dividend, our shareholders are highly satisfied with us, the price of our shares is high in the market, then ultimately it gives a goodwill, a prestige to our company in the market. And by having the maximum prestige or by increase in the goodwill, the sales of company will grow up. And if the sales will increase, definitely our profit will increase. And when the profit will increase, we are going to declare maximum dividend. When we are going to declare the maximum dividend, they again are satisfied and again we are able to generate goodwill. So, these both objectives are highly interrelated with each other. If we ignore any of the objectives, then organization is not able to survive in a proper manner. Now there are other objectives that we'll learn. First one, to ensure regular and adequate supply of fund to the concern. To ensure adequate return to the shareholders, which will depends upon the earning capacity, market price of the share, expectation of the shareholders. Third one, to ensure optimum funds utilization. Once the funds are procured, they should be utilized in maximum possible way at least cost. To ensure safety on investment, that is, funds should be invested in safe venture so that adequate rate of return can be achieved. To plan a sound capital structure, there should be sound and fair composition of capital so that balance is maintained between debt and equity capital. Now, these 5 objectives that we'll learn tomorrow. Till now, we discuss about the scope and basic objectives of financial management. I hope that is clear in your mind. Thank you.